The Didcot-based team have proved a sensation in both the British and FIA World Rally Championships this season. In this, their first year with the Formula 2 Nissan Sunny. We're here to get the views of the team on Formula 2 and the way that the Nissan team is going in the future. The weather throughout the week had been perfect for the team's needs, with sunshine, wind and rain on alternate days. This has given them the chance to try any number of different settings, and having won the Formula 2 category on the Scottish Rally, the team is starting to feel quite confident about the future. Keeping an eye on things on this particular day were team boss Dave Whittock and commercial manager Philip Baker. It's their job to make Nissan Motorsport Europe into a successful commercial venture, and in order to do that they need to win rallies. Driving the Sunny are both team drivers Alister McRae and Tommi Makinen. It's Makinen's job to sort the car, with constant changes to springs and dampers to try to find the right settings for tarmac. Overseeing the testing is the team's engineer John Easton. Young but vastly experienced, John has worked for both Peugeot and Nissan, but what does John, seen here, do for Nissan now, and how does his previous experience help the team? Dave Whittock explains.
John Easton is by title a technical supervisor, but John's role is quite important because his role is to get these cars out. His role is to get the results, to get the engineering level and certainly the development program underway, running through on schedule on time. Without John, obviously without that position, nothing would ever happen because he plays a very important role. He has to come up with the ideas, he has to implement them. But remember, we're a commercial company also, so we have a lot of customer work going on, and the programming of the customer work is also down to him. So I suppose really he has a lot of responsibility, and he has a lot of responsibility simply because he has to meet a very, very tight time schedule. If he doesn't meet it, I'm the one that thumps the desk. So it's important that both John and myself work as a team.
There are not many more experienced co-drivers than Dave Whittock, so he's glad to offer some input as well. But Nissan Motorsport Europe is a fairly new team. Where did it come from, and where does he think that it's going? And why choose the Sunny and not the Primera, which is already racing?
18 months ago, the company basically gave up World Championship rallying. The company was then sold to Nissan Europe to really turn the whole company into a commercial-based business. To actually run the commercial company, we have to pick a model that we can actually sell to a customer who can actually afford to go into motorsport. We could either go to the Primera, which was racing, which is very expensive, or we could actually turn to the Sunny range and go rallying. We chose to go down the road of the Sunny, basically because we feel that there's more customers, more affordable customers in rallying than there is in racing. There's only 30 cars that can actually go onto a grid, and in rallying there's 120 competitors. So we felt the objective was to go into club level motorsport.
On that basis, is he convinced that Formula 2 is the way to go? Is he happy, in fact, with the way that rallying is going?
I think Formula 2 is a way to go rallying because 4x4 rallying is very expensive, and it's based around, my feeling, for the manufacturers. And without manufacturer support, it is very expensive for the clubmen. If you look at Group N, I feel that turbocharged Group N cars, although very exciting, they break, and therefore, obviously, they're very expensive. With Formula 2, it can be an affordable car. My only reservations is that now that FIA has actually passed the kit, I think we have to monitor the whole situation very carefully, because it could get very expensive and it could get out of hand. But I think Formula 2, as we're going to know it, certainly be in Great Britain during the latter part of this year, and obviously during 1995, I think that's the future. It's the future. It can be the future in Group A. It can be the future in Group N. And in Group A, there's also two different versions. There's a club version, and also we can run an international version.
Okay, everybody says that Formula 2 is boring, but they used to say that about Quattros. So what does Alister McRae think?
No, definitely not. You know, I think people are worried that it's going to be boring, and it's not going to be anywhere near as quick as four-wheel drive. Well, it may not be quite as quick, but believe me, it's not boring, and anybody wants to come and sit in the car will find that out. I think no matter what car you're driving, if it's a good driver and he's attacking hard in it, it's spectacular. There's just going to be places where the two-wheel drive isn't just quite as good as the four-wheel drive.
On this particular test in Ireland, we noticed that Alister spends a lot of time sitting alongside Tommi Makinen in the co-driver's seat. Is Tommi teaching him to drive?
It's not really to learn to drive the car, it's just he feels things in the car that I've not done an awful lot of test driving, so he feels things before I do. But once you sit down and think about what he's saying, and he explains what he's feeling, and you start to realise what's happening with the car, and it just helps you along the road. It would take an awful lot longer to become a good test driver if you were just doing it yourself.
So you're learning test driving as opposed to...
Yeah.
Yeah. But John Easton suggested that then you could translate almost better than Tommi can. He feels you can explain better than...
Yeah,
is that because of the English?
Yeah, obviously. Tommi speaks a hell of a lot better English than me speak Finnish, but he's still some things that he struggles to explain, whereas I know exactly what he's meaning, so it's easier for me to tell John. And I think that working together it's a good team.
Despite the appalling conditions today, the team was still able to smile and joke when the camera was pointed at them. But how are they generally? How do they perform as a team?
Very professional. They've not really been going as a team in the British Championship. It's the first year. They're a very new team. It's a very new car. But everybody's working very hard to get the thing up and running. It's going very well. We've proved that the car's quick enough, and we've maybe got a few teething problems with the reliability, but they're getting ironed out in each event. So as far as the team goes and the car goes, there's a very professional team, and I think the car's going to be one of the quickest Formula 2 cars.
When you do a long test like this 6-day test, do you gain anything from it yourself? Do you learn more about the team or the car, or are you just getting the car right?
You get tired. No, you do. You're always learning about the car, especially when it's a new car. I drove front-wheel drive for the first 3 years of rallying, but to jump into a fully work-supported Formula 2 car, I'm still learning about the car. The team's learning about the car, so it's just really one big learning process.
So you're just planning on next year, basically? Do you think?
Obviously, we want to try and finish this year off with some good results. We've got Alister coming up the Makinen in the RAC, and I think there's going to be a fair bit of testing involved before all these events. And then obviously next year, with the British Championship going Formula 2, I think we should be off to, or the car will be able to come off to a really good start at the start of the year.
It's the ability to work and improve all the time that marks out a good team, and certainly this test was a major boost to the Nissan team's chances for the rest of the season. With Tommi Makinen, they not only have a very fast driver, but a good test driver as well. So we took the chance to ask him what they were trying to achieve.
Most important thing was the suspension. We had quite a lot of problem with the suspension in Portugal on a tarmac, and we were working whole week very hardly with the suspension, and I think it seems the car is very much quicker at the moment. About 2 seconds, 3 seconds per kilometer.
Have you discovered that all this week? You've got about 2 or 3 seconds quicker during the course of this week?
Yes, it's of course everything changed, everything developed. They develop all the time, the cars, everything engine and everything getting better, and it's all the time a bit lighter, and the biggest problem was suspension, and it seems it's quite good setting at the moment.
You won Formula 2 in Scotland, so is the car perfect for gravel?
Yes, it's good. It's quite good on a gravel, but it's never perfect. It's still quite a long work, and we must remember we have a first year, and it means we have quite little kilometers behind of us, and that's the thing. It's getting better all the time. So
what do you think there is more to do this week? What more work is there to do to the car this week, do you think?
Yes, it's all the time. It's very hard work. If you want to be very fast and quick quickest car. It's all the time. It's full-time work.
Are you changing springs and dampers? Everything, or just working around?
Yes, it's a difficult thing. There is so many different things because everything changes everything. If you change little bit, example front dampers, you need change something else as well. That's the thing. There is so many different things, and it's of course it's easier with front wheel car. 4x4 car is much more complicated because there is front and rear is very important as well. It means a lot of more work.
For a team like Nissan Motorsport Europe, success can only be measured in sales. Dave Whittock has therefore to plan his programme carefully to achieve the best results and maximum exposure. So what does he plan for the rest of the season?
For the Ulster Rally, we're running 2 cars, Alister, McRae and Tommi Makinen. We need to run a 2-car team there just to really secure, which hopefully will be a position of 1 and 2 in the manufacturer's title. For the Manx Rally, I think at the present moment we'll only run 1 car, simply because we only have 2 drivers. We have a very limited number of cars, and the Manx Rally clashes with the Australian Rally. Now, we have now made a decision that we will run 2 cars also in the Rally of 1,000 Lakes. If we're successful there, we have to go to the Rally of Australia. So my feeling would be that we would send possibly Tommi Makinen to the Rally of Australia and Alister then on the Manx Rally. But of course, running 1 car in any championship lessens our chances. We have to make a decision as each event goes by and decide exactly what we're going to do. But my intention, of course, is to win the manufacturer's title on the British Championship, and I would also like to think that we are in for a good shout of winning the World Cup for 2-litre cars also.
His optimistic but achievable aims force a wry smile from Dave as he realises that all this has to be done on a very tight budget. But whilst he worries about things like that, the mechanics work into the night to get the car ready for the next day's running. It's true of any sport that you only get out of it what you put into it. So maybe, just maybe, they will achieve everything that they set out to do.